Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. It is great to be here. So, a big thank you to the great panels. Panelists, how are you today? Are you good, everyone?
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you. Our discussion today is about thriving together, building sustainable cities and resilient communities. And I am Halimatun Saadiah, your moderator for our Sustainability Forum today. First and foremost, before we start our discussion, I will give a simple definition, just a simple definition, okay, about what is sustainability. In the broadest sense, sustainability refers to the ability to maintain or support a process continuously over time. Sustainable Development Goals, which introduced by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015, is one of the measures aimed to ensure the universal sustainability. However, the topic of our discussion today will be narrowed down about sustainable cities and communities. But before we go further about this topic, let me now introduce our great panels first. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to our esteemed panelists who bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to our discussion today. First, we have Puan Aishah Izzati, an urban planner from Sunway Property. With her expertise in urban planning, Puan Aishah has been instrumental in shaping sustainable cities and livable communities. Next, we have Miss Halimatus Saadiah, a dedicated youth environmental activist. Ms. Halimatus has been actively advocating for environmental conservation and raising awareness about the pressing issues our planet faces. Joining us as the third panelist is Dr. Muhammad Aqeel, a highly respected social science lecturer from the National University of Malaysia. His extensive knowledge in social science and environmental studies will provide valuable insights into our discussion today. Last but not least, we have Mr. Amer Shah, an estimate of ex-mayor of Fani. Mr. Amer Shah's extensive experience in governance and urban management will provide us with a unique perspective on sustainable development. Let's welcome these exceptional individuals who are expertise in the field in enriching our discussion today. All right, panelists. Sustainability is a crucial topic that influences various fields and roles. Before we dive deeper into our discussion, I would like each of you to provide a brief overview of how sustainability issues impact your respective role. Please feel free to share any relevant experience that have shaped your understanding. So, Puan Aisyah, we will start with you.
All right. Thank you, Halimatun Saadiah, for giving me this opportunity to talk about sustainability on the forum. Before I start answering all your questions, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Aishah Izzati. I'm one of the urban planner of Sunny Property in Malaysia. As an urban planner, I am excited to share my personal perspective on how sustainability influenced my role and the importance of sustainability in various aspects. Since I've been working for almost 20 years on urban planning, for me, sustainability is a fundamental principle that guides our planning and development efforts in order to shaping the future of our communities. So back to your question, how the issue of sustainability influence my role? In my role, I recognize the significance of incorporating sustainable practice into urban planning. As an urban planner of Sunway Property, I have commitment to create a sustainable cities and communities in Malaysia. Through our initiative and holistic approach for everyone, we strive to build a better future for both sides, ideal for the residents and also the environment to make a balance in between these two sides. By integrating the sustainable design, such as efficient of land use and green space, we can minimize our impact on the environment while enhancing the quality of life for the residents. In my experience, I have seen the positive impact on sustainable initiative. For example, by incorporating a sustainable transportation option, such as providing a cycling lanes and pedestrian-friendly infrastructure, this is not only can reduce the land of use and also the traffic jam, and at the same time can promote healthy lifestyle and reduce the carbon emissions. For example, the Sunway City in Ipoh Perak offers 7 strategic components that include education, hospitality, theme park, and many more. All of these components are conveniently located within a secure and integrated environment for everyone. Other than that, I'm very proud to share my personal perspective. Personal I would like to share my successful project that got an award of winning a best theme park, which is Sunway Luz of World, Sunway Luz World of Tambun. This is also a winner of Malaysia Property Award for the best master plan township in 2010. To conclude, as an urban planner, as an urban planner of Sunway Property, I have committed to integrating a sustainable practice into our project to create cities and communities that are environmentally friendly and social inclusive. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Aishah, for sharing such a great opinion and experience about this topic. Miss Halimatus, as a youth environmental activist, your work and advocacy play a vital role in driving sustainable change. Could you provide a brief overview of how sustainability issues specifically influence your role as an environmental activist? Additionally, we will appreciate it if you could highlight the importance of sustainability from your perspective. If there are any relevant experience you have had that have shaped your understanding about this topic, please feel free to share them with us.
Alright, first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to this forum. As a youth representative, I realize that the youth nowadays are beginning to know about the sustainability issues of today's world. Last month, I attended a forum that discussed in conjunction with Environmental Day. In that forum, the youth were free to voice out about their views on sustainable cities and communities. Most of them talk about the renewable energy, emission of the fresh goods, biodegradable packaging, and clean transportations. They even look exciting to take part as volunteer and aid in creating ideal sustainable cities. So that, personally, I think you'd fully understand and aware as we are the catalyst towards the sustainable cities and communities.
Thank you, Ms. Halimatus, for sharing your invaluable insights as a youth environmental activist. So based on what you shared just now, I can safely say that youth is not left behind in achieving sustainable development goal. Now, let's turn to Dr. Aqeel, our social science lecturer. Doctor, we have heard about the importance of sustainability from Point Aishah's perspective as an urban planner and also from Ms. Halimatus' perspective as a youth environmental activist. So, as a social science lecturer, could you provide us a brief overview of how social implication of sustainability influence your role? And we also invite you to share any relevant experience or examples that have shaped your understanding.
Okay, thank you, Miss Halimatun. Hello, everyone. I'm Muhammad Aqeel, and I'm thrilled to be here as a social science lecturer. I have a passion for understanding and exploring the intricacies of human society and behavior. With 20 years of experience in the field, I have had a privilege of teaching various social science subjects such as sociology, psychology, anthropology, and developmental. So, back to the topic, there are various debates and argument related to sustainable development in the world today. It's happened because there are some parties who oppose and the other side support about this idea. On the one hand, proponents of sustainable cities argue that they offer a number of benefits, in, including improved public health, reduced greenhouse gas emission, and increased social equity. By promoting sustainable practices and reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, sustainable cities can help mitigate the effect of climate change and create a more resilient and equitable society. On the other hand, critics argue that sustainable city can be expensive to implement and may not be feasible in all contexts. For example, some argue uh, that the cost of implementing sustainable infrastructure, such as public transportation and green building, may be prohibitive for some cities and communities. Additionally, some argue that sustainable cities may not be compatible with certain cultural and historical context, and that effort to impose sustainable practice may be made the resistant. So, despite this debate, there is growing recognition of the importance of sustainability in urban planning and development, as more cities around the world take steps to promote sustainable practices, and there are a lot of benefit to the world and society. So, my opinion about this topic or sustainable city is, so sustainable city is a good way to create harmonious and livable environment that balance the need of people, economy, and the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor, for the informative opinion that you had shared just now. Now, let's shift our focus to the last panelist, Amer Shah, our estimate ex-mayor of Pagi. So, Mr. Amer, with your expertise in sustainable cities and communities, we would appreciate it if you can provide us with a brief overview of the concept. From your perspective, what does it mean to have a sustainable city or community? And we also invite you to share any notable experience or projects from your tenure as the ex-mayor that have shaped your understanding of sustainable cities and communities.
Right. Thank you, Halimatun, and I feel very welcome to this forum alongside me and the panelists. All right. For the question, what is sustainability? From my perspective, the sustainability is city where they use green technology and that is not affecting economic growth. All right. Sustainability are not so foreign in Malaysia actually. Since the construction of Putrajaya, Malaysia has a vision of creating more sustainable cities. However, creating sustainable city has its challenge. From a government perspective, the challenges are large finance and location selection. Like example of Putrajaya, the location was very strategic and it was very easy to buy a square of land at that time. However, a small country like us, the financial resources are the challenge. Based on article published by UN Habitat, among the countries experiencing financial problems in developing sustainable cities are Colombia, Bolivia, India, and including us, Malaysia. Based on that data, Kuala Lumpur is a city that costs a lot, which is almost 8.17 billion USD, followed by Kuantan, which is only 1.349 billion USD. The three main sectors that require high costs are public transport, public area, and housing. In addition, the problem in creating sustainable city is location selection. If a city built in the location is not strategy, then it will be dead city. For example, Lembah Bringit, if you guys ever think about that, the construction of Lembah Bringit question is not strategic due to several factors. The first is far from industrial area. When it's far from industrial area, then it becomes irrelevant for someone to live in the area because it's difficult to commute to work. Even the area will not develop successfully. Second, the connection between one city to another city is broken. The city must be close to another city to create connection, where two cities depend on each other. For example, Bangi and Kajang. Bangi is full of factories and IPA, while Kajang is full of housing and public area. So this Bangi and Kajang have connection to live it up both cities. Finally, in addition to focusing on the importance of developing a sustainable city, first we must prepare to deal with the challenge we will face. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Amer. So, we have heard from our estimate panelists, Puan Aishah, Ms. Halimatus, Dr. Aqeel, and Mr. Amer, who have shared their valuable insights and experiences about this topic. Now, we turn our attention to the complexities and obstacles surrounding sustainable urban development. In the context of Malaysia, the pursuit of sustainable urban development is not exempt for its own set of challenges. As we discuss sustainable urban development in Malaysia, it becomes evident that several factors pose hurdles on the path to achieving this vision. So, Puan Aishah, as our first panelist, with your expertise in urban planning and sustainable development, we invite you to shed light on the biggest challenges that Malaysia faces in achieving sustainable urban development. Furthermore, we would like to hear your insights on how these challenges can be effectively addressed.
All right. Thank you, moderator, for giving me such a great question. If we talk about challenges that we face as an urban planner in order to achieve sustainable cities and communities, there are so many challenges that we face. I have seen directly the impact of rapid expansion and also lack of awareness of using a public transport that can affect sustainable goals 11, which is sustainable cities and communities, the topic that we discuss right now. Allow me to share my personal perspective on this topic. Personally, I believe that sustainable cities and communities are significant for the future of our planet. It is important to consider that the environment, social, and economic impact of our development to ensure that they are not only development, but also create a sustainable and inclusive. First and foremost, sustainability is something that many countries want to achieve it, and almost 150 countries joining Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG for short, that have 70 target on it. If we think logically, creating a sustainable cities is the hardest thing and require plenty of effort from everyone, not only from the government side, but also from the stakeholder and even the citizen. For me, it is important for us to see both sides of negative and positive impact of urban expansion. It is actually not a huge impact of changes, but we see it as an opportunity. This can increase the economic growth and development in our country, but at the same time put a strain on resource and infrastructure. To address this, we must prioritize sustainable urban planning, practice that promote a sustainable initiative like efficient of land use and preserve of green space. Other than that, one of the biggest barriers that we face is lack of awareness of using a public transport. Many in Malaysia are still in a narrow-minded, are not fully aware of benefit and convenience that offered by public transport. They are still in perception that the public transport, especially the buses, are are unreliable and predictable. To combat this perception, we need to do some educational campaign for Malaysia to raise awareness and create a good mindset about the benefit of using public transport so that the society can enhance their knowledge and at the same time can reduce inequalities, improve the air quality, and emphasize accessibility for all residents. In conclusion, achieving sustainable cities and communities is a complete task, and to address these challenges, collaborative effort between three parties are clearly necessary.
Thank you, Aisha, for sharing your expertise and helping us broaden our understanding of this crucial topic. Your thoughtful analysis of the challenges and potential strategies for addressing them is greatly appreciated. Your contribution to this discussion will be undoubtedly inspire further exploration and action towards sustainable urban development in Malaysia. Now, let's turn to Ms. Halimatus. Ms. Halimatus, as a prominent youth representative, we believe your perspective on youth involvement in achieving sustainable cities is crucial. Why do you think it is important for youth in Malaysia to actively participate in the pursuit of sustainable cities? And as a youth representative, what are their expectations for living in a sustainable city?
All right, thank you. First of all, I would like to address that in Malaysia, we have the Sustainability Development Agenda, which is one of the government's blueprint to become a developed nation in economic development, community well-being, and sustainable development. So, personally, I think to achieve sustainable development, youth play a vital role as agents in sustainability through many perspectives. The first reason why the youth should involve in achieving sustainable city is they are change makers. Young people have the power to act and mobilize others. Youth activism is on the rise the world over, bolstered by broader connectivity and access to social media. They can influence they can influence others to adopt pro-environmental behavior to live in sustainable cities. Next, youth are the innovators. Youth can bring fresh perspectives because they are the generation with high inquisitive. Besides, they're more advanced in this technology era, so they are more creative, can offer new ideas and alternative solutions regarding sustainable development. And the last, and the last, and the last, And the last reason why the youth should involve in achieving sustainable city is they are the future leadership. Youth can drive change in their communities and countries because they are empowered with knowledge of their right and equipped with leadership skills. As a youth representative too, the youth expect to live in a sustainable city with EV transportation. The youth expect to have smarter service for public transportation, especially around the town, and electric vehicles since it becoming popular today. A sustainable city should include EV charger stations. The station should build in the flexible area. Besides, we expect to have green infrastructure. Green infrastructure and architecture is a key component of a smart sustainable city. Green buildings may include solar panels, enhanced ventilations and installations, as well as using smart HVAC systems. You'd get more knowledge since sustainability topics now are covered in educational systems. So we are looking forward to see green infrastructure becoming prominent on the paths in the future.
All right, thank you, Ms. Halimatus. Based on what they are said just now, we can conclude that youth participation in achieving sustainable cities in Malaysia is crucial for several reasons. As we know, youth represent the future generation who will inherit and inhabit these cities, making it essential for them to actively engage in shaping their own living environments. Now, let's move to Dr. Aqeel. Doctor, from your perspective, Doctor, from your perspective, why are sustainable cities so crucial in creating a more livable world?
Thank you, Ms. Halimatun, for a good question. The world is our responsibility, and we must take care of it to make it a comfort place uh, we to live. Okay. When my point of view as a social science lecturer, the first reason why sustainable cities are crucial for creating a more livable world is help reduce greenhouse gas emission. Sustainable city can help reduce greenhouse emission in a number of ways. For example, sustainable cities can promote the use of public transportation, biking, and walking, which can reduce number of car on the road and the amount of emission they produce. Just like Miss Aishah as a urban planner said, even though many Malaysians are still not fully aware of the benefit, but public transportation is a good option to help reduce greenhouse emission. Uh, the second reason is promote social equities. Sustainable cities can promote social equity by ensuring that all members of the community have access to the basic service such as affordable housing, public transportation, and healthcare. Sustainable cities can also promote economic development and job creation. And the last reason is sustainable cities can promote access to health food option, which is improve public health, such as farmers markets and community garden, which can reduce the prevalence of diet-related illnesses. By promoting public health, sustainable cities can create a healthier and more resilient community. So there are three big reasons and the big why sustainable cities are crucial for creating a more livable world.
Right. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights on the importance of sustainable cities in creating a more livable world. Your perspective as a social science lecturer has shed light on the broad benefits that sustainable cities can bring to the society, environmental, and individual well-being. As we continue our discussion on sustainable urban development, it is crucial to address the carbon footprint as a significant aspect of the environmental sustainability. The carbon footprint, which represents the total amount of greenhouse gas emissions, play a crucial role in climate change mitigation. In this context, we now turn our attention to the role of the government in implementing preventive measures to tackle carbon footprints. While funding issues are undoubtedly important, it is equally essential to explore the specific actions taken by the governments to address these pressing concerns. With this in mind, we invite Mr. Amer Shah, our estimate ex-mayor of Pangi, to provide insight on the preventive measures undertaken by the government. Amer, we are keen to hear about the initiatives or strategies you have witnessed or implemented during your tenure as the ex-mayor that focus on reducing carbon footprints. How do you perceive the government's role in taking carbon footprints and promoting sustainable practice within communities?
Wow, that's such a wonderful question. All right. Well, for your information, for you guys' kind of information too, the government has already taken a proactive measure against this carbon footprint issue. Well, this is not a small issue. This is such a big issue. The issue is certainly not foreign to one of the city. The big contributors are the increase of vehicle and the increase of public waste. Did you guys know the carbon dioxide emission in 2018 was estimated at 2.35 million tons, and this is expected to increase to 11.69 million tons by 2020. So what the government do? Actually, um, after Malaysia participated in COP15 in 2009 at Copenhagen, Denmark, Malaysia launched a program which is called Low Carbon City (LCC). This program targets the use of sustainable green technology in order to reduce the production of greenhouse gases. The program also reduces carbon footprint without affecting the city's economic development. For example, in Kuala Lumpur, they use free bus service, but the bus generated by electric power. And I hope that's answered your question, Ms. Halimatun.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Amer, for sharing invaluable insights into these preventive measures taken by the government. His experience and expertise have highlighted the importance of governmental action in mitigating environmental impacts and promoting sustainable practice within communities. As we come to the end of our forum on sustainable cities and communities, We would like to express our deepest gratitude to our esteemed panelists, Puan Aishah, Miss Halimatus, Dr. Aqeel, and Mr. Amer Shah. Your expertise, insights, and patience have made this discussion truly meaningful and impactful. As we conclude this forum, let us carry forward the lessons learned and the inspiration gained. Together, we can make a difference in building sustainable cities that prioritize the well-being of both people and the planet. Once again, a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed panelists and all those involved in making this forum success. Your commitment to sustainable urban development is vital, and we look forward to continuing this important journey together. Thank you, and let us all continue working towards a more sustainable future where sustainable living is not just a goal, but a way of life. Thank you, everyone.